Hello and welcome to the last episode of my Nuzlocke run. I have got every member of my squad up to level 90, so let's go! And I took a trip to the ROM Hacks 2 move tutors who allow you to learn a bunch of useful moves. Ah yes, Layton finally has Rock Slide. Such a good iron snack. And the reason we're at such a high level is because I've already done the Elite Four once. And this is because we've cleared all the gyms in the game and we were way too over leveled for the first run. So I decided to end this series with the second Elite Four run, which is going to be a lot more challenging. And in case you're wondering, I also went to fight Red, but he was no match for us at our current level, so it wasn't worth going over. So without further ado, let's take on this game's Elite Four and its champion, which just so happened to be all original characters, which is very cool. And first up is Robert, who's absolutely crushed and destroyed like an iPhone in a blender by our best damn ghost boy Rudolph.
Gengar, what is best in life?
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
And the next Elite Four member is Doom, who's a sleepy old man that for some reason talks like Ned Flanders.
Diddly oodly, doodly oodly, noodly doodly, diddly doodly, just the diddly daddler at me.
Stupid sexy Flanders!
And here's his squad. Nothing too special, but there are a few annoying gits in there for sure. And the first Pokemon Doom sends out is a Noctowl, and I stuck with our leading ghostly terror Rudolph. The battle starts off well with Gengar nearly killing the Noctowl in one shot with its mighty Thunder Punch, but then Noctowl follows up by putting Rudolph to sleep with a Hypnosis, which is very aggravating. And then the Noctowl takes the piss further by doing a rest that gets it back to full health. And what follows is a few turns of both Pokemon sleeping.
Skip to the end.
After taking 2 Nightshades, Gengar awakens to slay the Noctowl with an almighty critical Thunder Punch. And next up is an Octillery, which is strangely enough what Rudolph was in my last Nuzlocke. Weird. Anyway, I thought I would get Rudolph to use Giga Drain on the Octillery to do some damage and get some health back in the process. And Octillery responded with a weak Psybeam that sadly confuses Rudolph in the aftermath. And through the confusion, Gengar sips the last sliver of Octillery's health. Man, it would have been some strange Twilight Zone twist ending if the Octillery got a kill on Rudolph.
You've gotta believe me!
Why should I believe you? You're Hitler!
No! Ava Braun, help me!
The next Pokemon on the chopping block was Xatu. And Rudolph doesn't get to hit first because he ends up hitting himself in confusion. And then Xatu hit Rudolph with a powerful Psychic. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Maybe I should have took the Octillery as an omen? Oh well, let's swap in the best Iron Snack, Layton. Our boy is hit with a very weak Psychic upon his steely arrival. And before he can get hit in, he's again struck with a Psychic. But when he can finally attack, Layton slams the Xatu with a Crunch that nearly kills it in one shot. And after another Psychic, Layton gets the kill with his powerful Crunch. Then Doom sends out his next Pokemon, Beedrill. Ah, I see you're a man of culture as well, Doom. But this Beedrill ain't no Bongzilla and it is killed easily with Layton's new move, Rock Slide. And the last Pokemon in his squad is an Omanyte. Well, we know what fossil he took, but ask anyway, comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And needless to say, Layton murdered Lord Helix with his mighty Earthquake.
How dare you!
The next Elite Four member is a bit of a character, and his name is Fibeth, and when you enter his lair he's playing Nintendo, and before we can battle him he brags about how many video games he has. This guy reminds me of an old skit I did 2 years ago making fun of retro video game YouTubers.
Hey guys, it's your boy, 8-Bit Davey, the angry historian gamer, just chilling in front of my game shelf.
We get it, you have a lot of video games, Fibbage or whatever your fucking name is. And sadly the battle with Fibeth was pretty easy and not really worth going over. Harry did most of the annihilating this time round though. And we're now coming into the home stretch with the last Elite Four member before the champ battle, Honeybun. Couldn't they have picked a more imposing name for the second to last battle? But anyway, Honeybun philosophizes at us like he's Morpheus for a bit and then we can finally take him on. And here's his squad. Yeah, this battle is where things start to actually get a bit challenging. The first Pokemon he sends out is a Gengar, and I sent out our own Gengar, Rudolph, to fight his inferior doppelganger. And Rudolph obliterates this phony pretender with a strong Psychic.
You're a phony!
The next Pokemon he sends out is Steelix, so I sent in Leanne, the best sludgy girl, to melt this inferior Layton ripoff. And Leanne is hit with a very strong Earthquake upon her entrance. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting a crit there. Leanne, get your revenge with your Steel Beam melting Fire Blast. Yes, die you cheap Hong Kong Layton bootleg. Fighting this guy so far has kind of been like that bit in the Pokemon movie where Mewtwo makes the clones fight. So strange. Anyway, my darling Honeybun next sent out the beast that is Heracross, and with Leanne brutally injured I decided to switch in Layton to show Honeybun what a real Steelix looks like. And before Layton can get a hit in, he's pelted with 2 earthquakes, getting him down to about half health. Then Layton responds with an earthquake of his own that does bugger all damage. And on the next turn of combat, Heracross unleashes another earthquake. Holy shit, we got close to losing our Iron Sneck. Get the hell out of there, Layton. Go get revenge for Layton, Fester. Your feeble earthquake does not bother the #1 creepy boy. Finish him with your psychic hypno. See you in hell, Heracross. And next up is Dragonite that Fester tried in vain to poison for a couple of turns while being hit with body slams. And after a third failed attempt at poisoning, Dragonite went in for the kill with another body slam. Okay Fester, now's the time to get you out of there. Let's get Harry to rain down his molten lava upon the enemy. And the Dragonite hits Harry with a critical body slam that even with the crit doesn't do too much damage. Dragonite then misses a dynamic punch and then Harry follows up with a rock slide that takes away a decent chunk of Dragonite's health. And Dragonite again misses a dynamic punch and Harry finishes it off with another rock slide. I dread to think what would have happened if either of those dynamic punches would have connected. Anyway, Honeybun's next Pokemon was a Slowbro, and this is probably a good time to switch out Harry for Rudolph the Ghostly Saviour. And Gengar is hit with a Surf on his entrance that does around a quarter of his health. Then Gengar hits back with a Shadow Ball that tears Slowbro's health basically in half. And luckily for us, Slowbro misses a Thunder Wave. And on the next turn of combat, Rudolph kills the Slowbro by sipping away his life essence with a Giga Drain. And Honeybun sends out his last pathetic Pokemon, which is a Snorlax called Daddy. I love that name, it reminds me of this kid. The resemblance is uncanny. Anyway, I'll save you some time. Snorlax kept resting before Gengar could get the kill, so I swapped in Harry the Macago, who managed to take the Snorlax down with a lucky crit on his Fire Blast. Well, that's the Elite Four taken care of, now it's time to take on the champion. And the final trainer just so happens to be Shockslayer, which is the guy who made this ROM hack. I've got to admit, that's a nice little touch. And here's his squad. This is going to be tricky, isn't it? Well, this is it, lads. It's time to go over the top. Shockslayer's first Pokemon is a Cloyster, and I of course sent out our absolute beast Rudolph the Gengar. And Rudolph opens up proceedings confidently with a Thunder Punch that manages to kill the Cloyster in one shot. Next up is the absolute unit that is Tyranitar. Gengar hits first with a Giga Drain that cuts the Tyranitar's health in 2, and Tyranitar responds with a Rock Slide that does roughly the same damage as Rudolph did. Gengar follows up with another Giga Drain, this time getting Tyranitar into the red. And Tyranitar next hits back with another Rock Slide, this time getting Rudolph into the early morning piss orange. Then before Tyranitar can get another hit in, Rudolph snuffs out what remains of his health. Shockslayer next sends out a shiny Skarmory, and Rudolph hits first with a powerful Thunder Punch that barely misses out on killing the Skarmory. But then Skarmory responds with a Drill Peck. Well done, Rudolph. Now murder this rejected Transformers robot with another Thunder Punch. Good job, Gengar. Shockslayer then sent out a Jolteon, and now's probably a good time to tag in Layton the Mighty Iron Sneck, who doesn't get hit by a Thunderbolt on his entrance due to his
Diplomatic immunity, so hey mate, you can't sue.
Before Layton can get a hit in, he's hit with a super effective hidden power that takes a nice chunk out of his health. And then he responds with a mighty earthquake that kills the Jolteon in one shot. The next Pokemon up is Blissey, that opens up by hitting Layton with a seismic toss, getting him into the yellow. Layton then follows up with a rock slide that does a decent amount of damage, and Blissey surprises me with a flamethrower. No! Layton, my mighty iron Sneck! How dare you smile at me after what you just did, Blissey? That's it, Leanne. Get in there and avenge your fallen brother. Murder it with your sludge bomb, Leanne. It's dead. At least we got some revenge for Layton. Put some fat F's in the chat for the best Iron Sneck a trainer could ask for. Salute.
Good night, sweet prince.
Well, we still have work to do. Let's win this to honour Layton's memory. Shockslayer's last Pokemon is a Scizor, and as if by divine intervention, Leanne kills the Git with a single Fire Blast. That was for Layton, and with that, we are now champions. This series has been a long journey, but now it's over. We prevailed for Layton, and all the others we lost along the way. Now bow your heads, as we remember all of them through song. trap was the first to go. He fell prey to a bird, and following that, Piccolo dies. He looked like a flesh torch with eyes. Fells Brockham was next, killed by a cunty cow. After that, the Bug King died. All hail Bongzilla. Lord, I get so lonely, like you wouldn't believe. And I raise a toast to my Pokemon. Nick was the start of a kill chain. Logan got killed by the same coffin. I hate that flying testicle. Cashew gave her life so the others could live. Robo got killed by some bullshit. Fuck Counter and Hitmonchan. The last death left me a wreck. The last death left me a wreck. Layton was the best iron snack. He drinks in the halls of Odin. Lord, I get so lonely, like you wouldn't believe. And I raise a toast to my Pokemon. I get so lonely, like you wouldn't believe. And I raise a toast to my Pokemon, and I'll drink a crate for my Pokemon.